You tap buy at 11 at night. By lunch the next day, it is on your doorstep. Not because Amazon has faster robots than everyone else, because it built an entire machine to kill one specific enemy: waiting. Here is the system almost nobody sees. Here is the first thing to understand. Amazon is not really in the business of selling you products. Almost anyone can sell you a product. What Amazon sells is the deletion of waiting. Every serious decision it makes, where to put a warehouse, how to stack a shelf, which truck leaves when, points at one target. Cut the time between the moment you want something and the moment you hold it. Old retail made you do the waiting. Amazon asked a stranger question: what if the customer never waits at all? To see what Amazon changed, look at how everyone else shipped a package. The old model was simple and slow. One giant warehouse, maybe a few for a whole country. Your order lands, a worker gets a list and starts walking. Aisle after aisle, sorted neatly by category. In a big warehouse, a picker can walk several miles in one shift, and most of that is not picking. It is just travel to the next item. Then the box rides a truck across the country and sits in transit for days. Now look at where the time goes. The customer waits days. But inside the building, the product is waiting too, waiting for a human to walk over and find it. And the package waits in a truck, crossing distance that somebody has to pay for. Every one of those waits is cost. Old retail called it the price of doing business. Later, I will show you the number that made Amazon call it the enemy. Amazon's first move sounds obvious and is secretly radical. Do not wait for the order to start moving the inventory, move it first. Amazon studies what a region buys and pushes those items into warehouses close to those customers before anyone clicks buy. It even holds a patent on what it calls anticipatory shipping, the idea of sending a product toward a neighborhood on prediction alone before the order exists. Think about that. The item is already near you while you are still deciding you want it. In 2023, Amazon rebuilt its whole American network around this idea. Instead of one national system dragging boxes across the country, it split the map into 8 self-contained regions, each one stocked to serve its own customers. And here is the number I promised you. The average distance between a package and its customer fell by about 15%. Same-day deliveries jumped 65% in a single year. The share of orders filled from inside the customer's own region climbed from 62% to 76%. Nothing got faster because the trucks got faster. It got faster because the item was already close. So the item is close. Now the race moves inside the building, and this is where it gets strange. Walk into an Amazon fulfillment center, and the shelves make no sense. A paperback sits next to a phone charger, sits next to a can of dog food. Nothing is grouped by category. This is on purpose. Amazon calls it random storage. When an item arrives, it goes into whatever open slot is nearest, and software records exactly where it landed. It looks like chaos, but it crams more product into less space. And it scatters the popular items everywhere, so one is always close to whoever needs it. Then Amazon removes the walking completely. Under many of those shelves sits a robot. When your order comes in, the software does not send a person to the shelf. It sends the shelf to the person. A squat robot slides under the right pod, lifts it, and drives it to a worker standing still at a station. Amazon bought the company that built these robots back in 2012. A picker who once walked miles handled around 100 items an hour. Now they handle 300 to 400 because the items come to them. The shelf waits, the human does not. The item is close and it is picked in seconds. One stretch of the journey is left, and it is the hardest: getting the box from the local warehouse to your actual door. In logistics, this is called the last mile. It is the slowest and most expensive part of the whole trip because it does not scale. One truck can carry thousands of boxes between 2 cities cheaply, but that same truck then has to make dozens of separate stops down winding residential streets, and every stop burns time and money. Amazon's answer is density. The more orders in a neighborhood, the more stops per mile, the cheaper each drop becomes. This is why Prime exists. Prime creates the volume that makes speed affordable, which pulls in more members, which creates more volume. The flywheel pays for itself. I have spent 15 years auditing operations like this one, and I have watched this exact mistake happen. A warehouse I worked with installed state-of-the-art machines to sort and categorize parcels for every region it served. The investment ran into the millions, and throughput was supposed to double. It barely moved. When the team finally looked, the machine was not the problem. The bottleneck was the delivery trucks. They could not clear the sorted parcels at anything close to the rate the new machine produced them. So the parcels piled up at the outbound docks. Nobody had studied that dock before they bought the machine. Millions spent to speed up a step that was never the constraint. They optimized the work. The waiting was somewhere else. So why can't every retailer just copy this? They can see all of it. The regions, the random shelves, the robots, the flywheel. The answer is that none of these pieces work alone. The prediction is useless without the density to act on it. The robots are useless without the software that tracks 1 million randomly placed items. The regions only pay off at Amazon's scale of orders. It is a system, not a shopping list, and you cannot buy half of it. But it is worth being honest about what this speed costs. A machine tuned to the second is also tuning the people inside it. The same measurement that tells a robot where to go can be pointed at how fast a human works. Someone inside the system absorbs the cost of never letting anything wait. It is genuinely brilliant, and it is genuinely demanding. And this matters far away from any warehouse. Look at your own work. Somewhere in it, someone is waiting. Not for the work itself, but in the gaps between the steps. Waiting for an approval, waiting for a handoff, waiting for one person to get to it. That waiting is invisible, and it is almost always the real bottleneck, not the task. Amazon's whole empire runs on one idea you can use tomorrow. The enemy is rarely the work. It is where the work sits waiting. Find that gap and close it, and your output multiplies without anyone working a minute harder. That is all Amazon did. So here is the whole secret of Amazon on one card, and every move is one you can borrow. Predict what a region wants before it orders. Position the stock close so nothing travels far. Store it at random so software not walking finds it. Send the shelf to the worker so the human never waits. And use density to crack the last mile. 5 moves, 1 enemy. None of it is really about robots. It is about deleting the waiting everywhere it hides. That is the machine that deleted waiting. But moving fast casts a shadow. Next, we open the file on a company that moved fast and followed every rule in the playbook, and still burned $2 billion in under 2 years. Same tools, opposite ending. If you want to win at how your own work actually runs, subscribe. One system taken apart every week.